Captain Marcus Thompson had seen many strange things during his 15 years exploring the Outer Rim territories, but nothing had prepared him for the sight before him. The sleek alien vessel had materialized out of hyperspace without warning, its crystalline hull reflecting the distant stars like a prism. What made his jaw drop wasn't the ship's impossible beauty. It was the figure standing at the airlock. She looked like something from ancient Earth mythology. Pointed ears swept back from a delicate face, and her skin held a subtle luminescence that seemed to pulse with inner starlight. Her hair cascaded in waves of silver white down to her shoulders, and her eyes were the color of deep ocean water. She wore robes that seemed to be woven from light itself, shifting between colors that had no names in human language. "An elf," whispered Lieutenant Kate Morrison from beside him on the bridge. "She looks like an honest-to-goodness elf." The being raised her hand in what Marcus hoped was a peaceful gesture. Her lips moved, but no sound reached them across the void. Then, impossibly, her voice filled their minds directly. "Greetings, humans of the vessel Aurora. I am Princess Lyralee of the Valthera Dominion. I request permission to come aboard." Marcus exchanged glances with his crew. First contact protocols existed, but they had never anticipated someone who looked like she stepped out of a fairy tale. He activated the comm system. "This is Captain Thompson. You're welcome aboard, Princess Lyralee." Within minutes, she materialized. In their transporter bay, another impossible technology that their sensors couldn't even begin to understand. Up close, she was even more striking. She moved with fluid grace, each step seeming to barely touch the deck plating. "Your ship is impressive," she said, her actual voice carrying musical tones that seemed to resonate in their very bones. "We have watched your species with great interest." "Watched us?" Marcus tried to maintain diplomatic composure despite his racing heart. "For centuries," she nodded. "We have observed your remarkable journey from a single world to the stars. Your resilience, your determination to survive against impossible odds. It is truly extraordinary." Kate stepped forward. "With respect, Princess, why reveal yourselves now?" Lyralee's expression grew somber. "Because the galaxy faces a threat that requires unprecedented cooperation. The Devourers have awakened." A chill ran down Marcus's spine. Even without context, the name carried an ominous weight. "What are the Devourers?" he asked. "An ancient scourge," Lyralee explained. "They consume entire civilizations, leaving nothing behind but empty space. Every few millennia, they emerge from the dark spaces between galaxies to feed. They are coming, and they are closer than any of us realized." She gestured, and holographic images filled the air around them. Star systems being stripped of life, entire worlds reduced to barren rock, massive dark shapes blotting out suns. "The Galactic Council has fallen into despair," she continued. "Advanced civilizations with technology, beyond your current understanding, have already begun to flee to distant galaxies. But we believe there is still hope." "What does this have to do with humanity?" Marcus asked, though he suspected he wouldn't like the answer. Lyralee smiled, and it was like watching sunrise after endless night. "Everything. You see, Captain, humans possess something that we and every other species in the galaxy have lost: the ability to adapt and overcome seemingly impossible circumstances. While we have grown comfortable with our advanced technologies, you have thrived in adversity." She began pacing the small space, her robes trailing light. "Your species survived ice ages, plagues, wars that should have destroyed you completely. When faced with extinction, you didn't surrender. You found ways to endure. When your homeworld became too small, you didn't accept limitation. You reached for the stars." "You're talking about hope," Kate said quietly. "More than hope," Lyralee replied. "I speak of the human capacity for impossible solutions. While other species calculate probabilities and surrender to logic, humans say, 'Hold my beer,' and attempt the absurd." Marcus couldn't help but smile at her use of the human expression. "The Galactic Council has spent decades searching for a weapon capable of stopping the Devourers," she continued. "They have failed because they approach the problem with conventional thinking. But humans don't think conventionally. What exactly are you asking of us? Marcus asked. Partnership, she said simply. The Valthura possess knowledge and technology that could aid your species immeasurably. In return, we need human ingenuity, human stubbornness, and human refusal to accept defeat. She paused before him, those ocean-deep eyes holding his gaze. But there is something else, something that makes this moment truly significant. Which is, you are the first human I have encountered who didn't immediately assume I was here to conquer or deceive you. Your first instinct was curiosity, not fear. That gives me hope that our species can truly work together. Marcus felt heat rise in his cheeks. We've learned that making assumptions about alien intentions usually ends badly for everyone involved. Wisdom born of experience, she nodded approvingly. The very trait that convinced the Council of Elders to send me specifically to make contact with humanity. Why you specifically? Because I argued that humans would respond better to someone who appeared familiar rather than completely alien. My people are distant cousins to an ancient Earth species, what you might call elves in your mythology. We hoped the resemblance would ease the shock of first contact. Kate laughed despite the gravity of the situation. Ma'am, I don't think anything could have prepared us for meeting a real elf princess. Lyra Lee's smile widened. Perhaps not. But are you willing to take a chance on saving the galaxy? Marcus looked around at his crew, seeing determination replace bewilderment on their faces. Humanity had always been at its best when facing impossible odds. Princess Lyra Lee, he said formally, on behalf of the United Earth Colonial Fleet, we accept your proposal for partnership. Then let us begin, she replied. Time is shorter than we hoped, and the Devourers grow closer with each passing day. As alien technology began interfacing with human systems and two species started planning the impossible, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that this moment would be remembered as the day humanity truly joined the galactic community. Not as subjects or conquerors, but as the mad, brilliant, stubborn species that refused to let the universe end without a fight. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter with possibility.